Hey everyone, Tony D and Little Joan here. I wasn't going to do a fifth video today, but I have to do something on Joe Biden. Is Joan in the shot? Yes, she is. Joan, you paying attention, babe? Here, let me move you up a little bit so people can see you. You okay? You all right? Sleepy time. Joan had a very active day running around the living room and generally being a dog. I, of course, have been making videos all day. So, this is a virtual town hall, and let's read it. This Illinois virtual town hall had technical issues which delayed its start and led to unclear audio. This is an edited version, okay? Remember, this is an edited version, okay? We're going to watch Joe Biden.
Ladies and gentlemen, Senator Dick Durbin.
I just want to tell you, Joe, in the last 2 weeks, you've made history in presidential politics.
Oh, well, I guess Dick Durbin.
We're going to make it again come
is
St. Patrick's
given
Day
a thing
in the city of Chicago and the state of Illinois, and we're going to give you a chance.
Why are we
to
just
lead our
seeing his
nation.
name?
So when St. Patrick's Day comes around, I'm going to be casting my vote for President Joe Biden.
And you know,
this young lady here is Josephine.
This isn't even good lettering.
I'm casting my vote for her.
It's a little rough.
Because your leadership, Joe, is what's going to make her life better for years to come.
These guys,
Wish
you're
you the
telling
best,
me
Joe.
these
Have a
guys
great
don't have
time.
the money to do this right? I guess he must have did that by phone.
And you're really fortunate. Illinois is fortunate to have two such incredible senators like a friend of mine, Tammy Duckworth, and Dick. You're one of the great leaders in the Senate. I'm counting on you, pal. I'm counting on you. And I want to thank you for both for joining us today. And I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Look, I look forward to answering your questions, assuming you don't have more technical difficulties. But first, let me say, I know that this is an incredibly anxious time for all our families. And my thoughts now are with the families in every state and, quite frankly, around the world who are fighting this
so far, so
coronavirus,
good.
as
He's
well
on
as
point.
our first responders, our healthcare providers, who are putting themselves on the line to try to help people. Yesterday, I had an opportunity to address the nation and outline my plan for overcoming this crisis.
You know, the background's a little too light for his hair. They should have gotten something a little darker. He would have popped
testing
more.
and treatment to those who need it, and quickly. And I've laid out an economic response to give American workers, their families, small businesses impacted by this crisis immediate relief. And these are steps that can't wait until Inauguration Day next year. We need action now.
Yeah,
we need to be ready to take additional action.
Trump is president now. You're talking like
this crisis develop and
months and months from now. It'll be over by then.
Science, that's a starter. We need to listen to the public health professionals. We need transparency, and we need to restore public trust and confidence in the U.S. government. Speaker Pelosi has stepped up to lead,
public
and she
trust.
just recently assembled a package to deliver vital immediate relief for the American people. This evening, the Speaker announced she's reached a deal with the administration to make testing available for free, provide paid leave for everybody, food assistance for vulnerable Americans, and all Americans should be grateful to the Speaker's leadership and for Minority Leader Schumer's leadership in the Senate side in this critical moment. Look, these are important steps, first steps.
He's reading off a teleprompter,
much more to do in the long road ahead. Look, I know that the American people are up to this challenge as they've always been up to any challenge. We will summon the spirit of empathy, decency, and unity in this country. We're going to overcome this moment. But it's going to require us all to be prudent and proactive. This is the responsibility of each of us to protect our families, our coworkers, and our neighbors, especially those who are most vulnerable to serious health outcomes. No, campaign events are no exception. That's why we're connecting virtually today. We're going to have to get better at the technical side of this. No president can promise to prevent future outcomes.
You have to get better
but
at
I
it,
can
apparently.
promise you that when I'm president, we will prepare better, respond better, recover better, and we'll lead with science. I'll listen to the experts and heed their advice. We will rebuild American leadership and rally the world to meet these global threats, as we did in our administration. It will always, always, always.
You mean the Obama
get the
administration?
truth from me, from our administration. This is a responsibility of any president, and I promise you, I will meet that responsibility. That's what the American people are owed. We owe that to you all. Now, in these difficult days ahead that still lie ahead,
I don't know why he's holding
I know
the
this
pen.
country will summon the spirit of empathy, decency, and unity. We've never failed in a moment of crisis. Because in times of crisis,
I guess that's
Americans
like a
stand as one.
technique. Oh,
Volunteers
now he's gripping the
raise their
pen.
hands to help. Neighbors look out for neighbors. Businesses
This is
take
going
care of
on
their
way
workers.
too long.
So we'll meet this challenge and we'll do it together.
Answer questions,
Now,
Joe.
as I said, it's critical that we allow the public health officials to lead through this moment. And I want to make
This
sure
is
that's
all like
exactly what
speech
we're
stuff,
doing.
right? I mean, it's
and
just
that's
all
why I'm going to turn
platitudes.
things over to Dr. Murtha. He was a Surgeon General. He's extremely well versed in all these issues. He's one of the number of experts who are on my team, and I want to thank you. And Doctor, maybe you could have, if we can transfer to you, say a few words.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vice President.
Thank you.
I want to thank you for
Where
making
the heck is
coronavirus
he?
topic an important focus for
Oh,
today.
the guys who
There's great
cut this
concern
together, idiots.
all
You
across our
cut back to
country for
Biden.
good reason. We've seen dramatic spread of
No,
this
don't
virus
cut to
around the
Biden.
world.
Just stay
But
on
we've also
him, you
seen
moron.
Rapid growth in cases here in the United States.
Why is he sitting
We
in a
now have over
bathroom?
2,000
Why is
cases
he
and
sitting
more
in
than
a
40
bathroom?
deaths all across our country.
This is
But we're also
terrible
quite limited in our
background.
testing,
What is that?
so we
What is
suspect that
up
number
in
is
left-hand
quite
corner? Oh,
higher.
good. Now he's going
And
to
in the
pan
coming
away.
days, we expect to see more and more
Ugh.
cases discovered
And
in
he's
more
got
communities
headphones
across
on.
America.
Or, yeah.
That's the bad news, but there is good news as well, because as dangerous
And we
as
can
this
see
virus
his computer
is, despite
in
the
the-
fact
in
that
the
it
reflection
seems
of
to
his
be
glasses.
10 times more lethal than the flu and spreads just as easily, if not more so, we do know that there are measures we can take to protect ourselves and others. And I want
All right.
to take a
We're
moment
gonna
just to
skip the
recap what
coronavirus
those are. In
and-
terms
and
of
go
our
all the way up
personal
to-
hygiene and are in general in frail health,
And he just goes
I
on
would
and on
recommend
and
that
on.
you call your county election.
All right, we're coming up
commission
to
make sure
a transition
you can take
to
advantage
Biden.
of any emergency measures they
Now,
have in place.
you'd
to
have to
allow you
think that
vote
Biden would be
via mail.
ready, you know,
So thank
like
you
on a
all so
live
much,
TV show.
for your attention to
But
this topic.
he's probably
helping
pissed
protect
off
our
that none of this
communities.
worked.
And I'm going to turn it back
He's
over
probably
to
yelling
Gabrielle
at
for the
people.
Q&A.
All right,
Thank
here
you,
we go.
everyone. If you have questions, please raise your hand utilizing the raise hand feature online. If you're called in, hit *9 to be able to raise your hand
All right,
via
all
the
right.
phone.
Joan wants to answer a
We'll let
question.
questions populate for 1
Joan
minute,
wants
and
to
then
ask
we
a
will
question.
select participants. We're going to take the next question from Georgia Johnson. Georgia, you're live.
Well, one of my questions was, as far as
live, that's pretty cool.
Joe Biden is concerned, what
You wanna jump
exactly
over?
will he do to accommodate those of us who are Bernie Sanders supporters?
Oh,
If we're
boy.
going to turn from Bernie,
Commies, doggy.
Uh,
Commies.
what is
You
he going
hate
to do
commies. Yes, you
to
do.
satisfy us?
You hate commies.
Bernie and I agree on a whole range of issues. We agree on the essence of how to proceed on the issue of climate change. We agree on education. We have a disagreement on how rapidly we can move toward universal health care. But what I'm going to do is Bernie and I are going to work together. And if he's the nominee, I commit that I will support him heavily throughout, do everything I can.
Not a
And he
chance.
said the same thing. And but we, across the board, there's a whole range of things we agree on, from dealing with student debt to making sure everyone has adequate health care, affordable health care, and that those who can't afford it get it for free.
All right,
Find
so far he's
ourselves in a
doing
position
okay.
where
I
we
mean, they say he,
reunite
like,
the
falls
world
to
by
pieces, but-
going and dealing with our allies and let them know our word can be kept, making sure that those who are adversaries know that we're back and we're going to keep our sacred commitments to our allies. We're going to work in the direction
Wasn't
of
that the
making
same
sure
kind
that
of
we
thing?
make sure that everyone, in fact, has access to education. We're going to, for example, one of the things that I think Bernie and I will agree on.
right, I'm gonna put you down, 'cause you're too squirmy.
I've endorsed Elizabeth Warren's
squirm
bankruptcy
elsewhere.
proposal, which in fact goes further, allows for student debt to be relieved in bankruptcy, provides for a whole range of other issues that allows us to, in fact,
He's still
impact
got the
on
pen.
how
He
people are
scratched his
dealing
head.
with their circumstances. So there's a whole range of things we agree on. But I would hope that
I think
they
he
would
just
take a look
talks too
and
much,
this be
you know?
a matter of alternatives.
I think he'd be
You know,
shorter.
you may not agree with every detail that I propose, but the fact is that it's awfully difficult to conclude that I'm anywhere near.
Don't
Donald
worry, this
Trump.
isn't very
My
long.
team,
It's about,
and I believe the people backing
14
me will
minutes,
back
so we
Bernie, and I
cut
hope
through
they'll do the
some of
same
it.
thing.
Oh, he's looking off
We're gonna take
camera, and they
now
cut to this.
from Deanna Payne.
Hi, Mr. Vice President. Thank you for taking the time to do this today. My question is in regard to healthcare. I understand that
Just ask the
you want to
question.
expand on Obamacare and add the public option. Could you go into a little bit more detail about
Oh, good,
how
detail. That'll help him get
co-pays
elected.
and prescription prices would be affected by your plan?
One, For those who, in fact, cannot afford
now they
to
got him
take
on
the
the
public
phone.
option,
Why
they
why is he
do no
holding the
copays,
phone?
Number one. Number two, we, in fact, subsidize the Obama plan to a tune of $750 billion over the next 10 years.
Why
to
wouldn't he
provide
have,
for,
like, a
there'll be
platform
no
or
surprise
something for
billing,
him
no
for the
situation
phone?
where drug prices can
God,
go up
his staff
beyond the
they're
cost of
idiots.
inflation. I set up at the Department of
You can
Health.
blame
and
partly
at
Bloomberg for that.
NIH,
He
a group
Bloomberg
of experts that are going
took
to
all the
determine
people who
whether
were
the bio-based
smart,
drugs as opposed to
bribed them all away,
chemical-based drugs
probably.
that are coming on market now, and only 1 or 2 companies are working with them.
Now this is where
Have
like
them
Biden
set the price,
apparently
the initial
starts
price
to
of that
just
drug. Again, it cannot
check
be
out.
raised beyond the
But
cost
see,
of
he
inflation.
just
medical
blathers.
inflation.
He blathers
In addition
and
to that, I make
blathers.
sure that Medicare can negotiate all drug payments, that in fact how much they're going to pay, and driving down the cost of drugs. And there's many more aspects of that, but the way I do it is providing the public option and further subsidizing access to the gold plans that exist within the. But what it doesn't do, it doesn't require you, if you have insurance, like over 100 million people do, who they've negotiated with their employer.
Probably should have had him
that they
sit
like very
down too.
much,
I mean, this
they
would be
don't
an
have to
opportunity
give it
for
up.
him to sit
they can
down.
Make that choice.
You know, it
But
could
if the
be.
employer cuts the
It could
plan,
be
they
like
can buy into
FDR,
Medicare, and if they
sitting
can't afford
sitting
it,
near the
they can
fire. He
get
could
the
be
Medicare
relaxed
option
and
that is in my plan.
You know, this whole
We're going to
setup.
take another
not
question
great.
from Dan Joyce.
Mr. Vice President, thank you for taking the time
It's
to
very
do this.
cheesy. I mean, this
has
guy's
to
running for
do with
president.
the
This should be
current health
slick
crisis
as
we're
hell.
in. And how would your health plan deal
And why
with
cut to
this
this?
current health crisis that we're all facing right now? What would be the advantages of your health plan versus what we have now?
He should be in
given,
a nice
I believe there
hotel
are a number of
room,
people who feel
you know, in a nice
very insecure
chair.
about their health care right now.
You know, nothing too
So
fancy, but
I was just wondering
maybe
how
have a drink of
the
water.
plan that
You could take a
propose
sip of
would be
water
dealing
while we're
with this issue
waiting.
right now.
Dan, it would cover all the costs that would be associated with the loss of.
See, he's
that
getting
you
tired
have.
just
In
standing
fact,
there.
Any doctor's bill you have, any bill, a hospital bill, it would be covered. But here's the main thing: I can get this passed. We can get this passed, and we can get it passed quickly. And
See,
even
and his
Bernie
arm's
acknowledges
probably
it's gonna
getting
take
tired.
4
Look,
years
your
to
arm will
pass
get
this
tired.
plan,
Anybody,
and then it's gonna
not
take
just an older
longer
guy.
time beyond
Anybody's
that
arm will get
to
tired
get it
holding the
implemented.
phone.
We
You know,
need
it's
to
just
assure
another
people
thing he
we can
doesn't
do
need to
this
do.
quickly.
He's trying to
I was
concentrate on
one
his
that the
answer.
president asked to go
He's
get
got to
the
do
votes for
two different
Obamacare. We
things.
got the
Why
votes,
wouldn't you have a
and I would
podium
restore
there?
all
I mean,
the
if he
cuts
was
that
sitting down,
Trump
maybe a
made
nice
in
table.
Obamacare,
He could just push the
adding
button
the
and go,
public option,
well, you know,
providing for
and he could
the
gesture
additional
and he
funding
could
that would
relax.
provide
And,
for
you
no
know, he
hidden
could,
bills, et cetera.
you know, he'd
And I
look
can get it done,
presidential.
I can get it done
You could have
quickly,
him behind
and
a
people would
desk
be
that
covered.
looks like the
But
Oval
even I
Office. You'd
can't
have
do
a
that for
flag.
another 2 years.
I mean,
a year.
you guys are
between now and
idiots
November,
the way you set this up.
or actually January.
It's just against
We're
a
going to
wall.
take one more question from
I mean,
Marie
come on.
Perkins.
And
Good evening,
and,
Mr.
and the
President.
doctor,
And that
he
has
was in the
such a nice
worst
ring to
place.
it.
Thank you, Marie.
My question to you is, do you support the Endangered Species Act, and will you prohibit animals from being hunted and brought into this country for trophies?
Yes and yes. And but look, I want to say something beyond that. One of the things that
he's getting
did
tired.
early on in my career as a U.S. Senator.
Now he's looking
was
around.
I was one of the sponsors of the Endangered Species Act, and one of the other things we've done is we in the state of Delaware, for example, set up.
If he
the
was
coastal
sitting
zone
down, he could sit
legislation,
back
which
and he
means
could
that you
relax.
can't
He
build
could,
any
you know, there'd be stuff for him to
anything
do.
within 1 mile
He
of the
thinks he
estuary
has
of the
to talk
Delaware
it to.
River,
Oh,
the
here he
Atlantic
goes.
Ocean and the Chesapeake, and so. But the whole point of this is that we can do a lot to deal with endangered species. One of the things I would like to raise is that
Oh no!
we have to deal
Oh
with this
no!
on an international basis as well. Because right now, for example, we have a thing.
Oh,
Brazil
man.
has the Amazon is burning,
And that's all they have to
the
cut to.
Amazon in order to make
The
money.
guys
in
who set
agriculture.
this up are
What I'd be
idiots.
doing is organizing the entire world to say, stop now. Stop doing that.
And now it looks
$20
terrible.
billion
I mean, the whole look
no
of it
longer
just
to
is
do this
terrible.
because you have an opportunity to be able to make up for the loss of being able to have this Amazon become farmland. But here's the deal:
It's
more
just
carbon
it's
is
just
absorbed from the
him
air
going on with the
than
logo.
What they call this carbon
I guess
sink
they're
in
just
Amazon,
afraid he won't
and
stand
every
still.
bit of carbon that's emitted in the
You
United
guys are
States
dumb.
of America on a daily basis.
And I say this
So
to the staff
the
of
point I
Joe
wanna make is
Biden.
this
You guys
goes
are
beyond
idiots.
just what
You don't know how
we're
to
gonna
shoot
do
things.
here in this nation. We've got to be able to reach out and make
You
sure the rest of
clearly
the
don't
world
have a
engages. We make
cinematographer
up
or guy
15% of the
experienced in
problem.
video
The rest of the
amongst
world
you.
makes up 85%.
I don't know why you thought you could do this. Look,
species. And so
viral
one of the
videos
things
are
we
low
have to
key
do
for a
is
reason.
immediately
They could,
rejoin the
you know,
Paris Climate Accord,
obviously
which I
you
helped
want good
put
lighting.
together.
You
And
know,
then
I don't
first
have
what I
great
would do
lighting.
is
I
in
got
the
this
first 100
stupid
days,
lamp. I should get a
invite the
better
major
light.
polluters in the
But
country and the major
you know,
abusers
at least
of,
it's
endangered
kind of set
species
up here
to the
nice.
United States of America
Jesus, he
and
just
up
keeps
the
going
ante
on and
what
on.
we have to do. There's much we can do. Go to joebiden.com. Take a look at the
Why
acts
didn't
I
he
would
say
take
that?
immediately
Why didn't he
relative
say go to
the environment and
joebiden.com
endangered
during the
species,
debate instead
as
of trying to
well as go to
text
joebiden.com and take a look at the
Joe
number
Biden
of proposals
30330. Like you had to make him memorize the number. Again, it's not even about his age. Like, although that's a factor, but like
there's a
you
lot
know,
more to say,
if I
but
was
I've
in a
already probably
presidential
said too much
debate
to you.
and I had to
Thank you to
remember a
everybody
number,
for joining.
they gotta end it.
You know, we appreciate this, and we do apologize for the technical difficulties that we
Oh,
had.
and I
Remember
heard-
that
I
Election
heard-
Day
I
is
heard-
March 17th. If you want to find out more information about
And
voting,
look,
please go
he's
to
getting ratioed.
joebiden.com or text.
He's got
text
314
join to
downvotes
30330.
and
Thank you, everyone, and have a great
178
night.
upvotes. So, and he cut himself off. And this was edited. That was edited, which means that was the best moments of that. What an absolute show. I feel bad for Biden. I really do. I mean, that is just terrible. You know, but Biden, I mean, he's old enough to remember a time before television was really a major factor in this. You know, I mean, I guess he's been around. I guess he's not that old. Yeah, I mean, but still. I mean, you should have just told him this is TV, Mr. VP. This is TV. So, you know, you gotta be like this for TV. Of course, he might expect a makeup person and a producer and stuff, and they should have that. They should have had a person direct him in a much. He should have been sitting down. I mean, the one time he could have been sitting down. You don't have him sitting down. He's an old guy. He can't stand there with a phone all day. But he goes on and prattles on and on and on. And he just won't shut up. Like, it's just bad. He's got to give short, succinct answers. Nobody wants to hear all this. Nobody wants to hear it go on and on and on. And he needs a guy. He needs a guy to stand next to him and ask the questions. That's what he should have had. I mean, he already had another doctor in it. Why not have a guy sit next to him? That way, the host, you know, his campaign manager or whoever it is, can sort of say, "Oh, that's great, Mr. VP." Kind of cut him off and move things along. I mean, this is it's just embarrassing. And, you know, and I don't blame Biden so much having an old man moment as his staff that really just set this up poorly. You have done a poor job, Joe Biden staff, but maybe that's by design. Maybe you're working against him and preparing the groundwork for Hillary Clinton to come in as his VP and save the DNC. I hope not.